My parcel from Anathema Publishing of the Semesilam Kickstarter project has arrived, folks. I picked up the Artisanal Edition. Of course I did. How could I not? After having picked up the Artisanal Edition of IAO, you can see the unboxing of that in a video that I'll link in the description. But yes, this is the Semesilam Artisanal Edition by Jose Gabriel Alegria Sabogal, and it is exactly as beautiful and as perfect as I was hoping it would be. But before I get into showing you the contents here, I just want to show you all the rest of the stuff that came in the parcel. First of all, this lovely little card with a code inside to get 15% off anything on the Anathema Publishing website, which I'm sure will come in very, very handy. A beautiful bookmark with this kind of UV spotting on there. Utterly gorgeous. Really, really lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. I'll certainly be using this. Ah, beautiful. Can I just get a close-up maybe? There we go. Let's get right in there just to show you the quality of what we're talking about here. Isn't that lovely? Oof. So that one's one that I recognize from Authorize. That's the one. Okay. Then we've got a couple of enamel pins. They are quite large, folks. And they've got two pins on the back there, and you can see Anathema's logo right there. So these are, this is the first one. These are both illustrations from the Semesilam compilation of books. I'll tell you exactly why I'm calling it a compilation of books in a few moments. But yeah, that's what they look like, and you can see how they're kind of overlaid there with the enamel. Very beautiful, very, very beautiful stuff. Yeah, gorgeous. And then a couple of stickers. So very well-known illustrations. Here's the lion-headed demiurge serpent. Yeah, which is so often used by people without permission, of course, throughout the internet. But yes, this is the work of Jose Gabriel Alegria Sabogal. And here is Abraxas, of course. This was an illustration I believe that he created for IAO. Really, really lovely. And Gabriel Macauri from Anathema Publishing very kindly included in my order a free copy. Thank you so much, Gabriel, of the paperback edition of IAO. And so, yeah, when people had started to receive, let me just place it over here for a second. When people were starting to receive their pledges, they were saying, "Oh my goodness, I've never seen a paperback of such quality." And I mean, that's accurate. You know, these are Smith sewn pages. The paper is insanely high quality. All of the color images are just perfect printing, utterly beautiful, utterly gorgeous. Got to be a little bit careful because, as Jose describes in the early pages of Semesilam, he's not particularly prudish with his illustrations, and yeah, some of it may not be particularly YouTube friendly, you know. So I've got to be a little bit careful, but yeah, you know IAO. I've shown you IAO in the past. Do go and check out the unboxing review that I did when I unboxed the Artisanal Edition way back when. But yes, I'll just as a final little hint here, let me show you the texturing on the cover. It's just gorgeous. so lovely. So lovely. Okay, all right. Well, I can't spend too much time gushing on this because we need to start talking about Semesilam. Let me come back a little bit. I'll zoom out just to show you the slipcase first of all. So the marbling on the slipcase, the only time I've seen this quality of marbling has been on IAO, right? And I just love this little kind of gold highlight effect. It's so nice, so nice. So all these different kind of shades of brown with these little gold highlights coming out, and then this this picture over here, this illustration. You can see the face of the sun there. Some kind of sword, some kind of key. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And then the inside is, I'm going to be able to show you, yes, it's kind of velvet, to make sure that the book stays in good shape. Really lovely stuff. Really beautiful. Just the highest quality, the very highest quality. It's so rare to see this kind of attention to detail. It's just lovely when you get to see it. Oh, folks, I didn't show you this yet. These are some altar cards, which also came free, and I believe you can actually purchase these on Anathema's website. They're gilded on the edges. You can see they're really thick card. I'm not going to show you them all because, again, YouTube strikes and so on. But you can, you know how beautiful this is. There's and just it's just gorgeous, just so gorgeous. And on the back is the same design on all of them. It's Jose's monograph on this kind of underneath of a skull, I believe it is. Which comes from one of the books featured in Semesilam. So Semesilam, let's open it up and you'll see that same marbling, hand marbling on the Artisanal Edition. I can't guarantee, I'm afraid, that the collector's edition has that same marbling. I'd be surprised, to be honest with you. This kind of it's art in its own right, it's each one is individual. It's not like a print. It is painted onto the paper. So no, I'd be very surprised if any of the other versions of Semesilam had this. And then look at that, folks. Yeah, that was so kind. Thank you so much, Anathema Publishing, and and it's signed, of course, by Jose. And I believe that all of the copies, even the standard collector's editions, are signed as well. The first printing is limited to approximately 1,300 collector's editions and approximately 50 artisanal edition hardcover copies. Yeah, very beautiful stuff. Okay, so what do we have here? Let me just zoom out a little bit. There we go. Again, got to be a little bit careful. Lots of naked bodies all over the place. So really what we have here is a book in, I'm going to say 2 major parts, but you could add a third major part at the beginning, being the various introductions. You've got an introduction from Frater Acher. You've got like a preface by the author himself over here. It's just looking back on when he had originally had these books printed. I can't remember who originally, was it Three Hands Press? Possibly Three Hands Press originally printed at least one of these books, I think. So yes, we've got the author's preface, the author's prologue, and then we've got this kind of Liber Mutus, a handbook of sacred anatomy. And yeah, once again, I'm just going to have to be very, very careful and very tentative with flicking through this due to body parts, you know. um, uh, but what I really appreciated here is I appreciated every single square inch of this wonderful double bill. I say double bill because after this sacred anatomy, you get this second part, which is called A Second Nature, and that's in itself in two parts. You've got the first part, which is his work on skulls, right? So these are actual human skulls on which he's done work, and then towards the second half is just more graphic work on paper, right? Just more standard graphic work on paper. You can recognize this illustration from the slipcase that I was just showing you a little bit earlier on. But yes, what I was going to say is that, you know, as much as the artwork itself is really the highlight, you know, it's what you're buying the book for. But the insights into the reasons for making the art, the insights into just Jose's state of mind, like where he was spiritually, where he was intellectually and artistically when he was creating this work. Just so fascinating, folks. Just really, really interesting. And I think that this art is going to be interesting to really anyone who is vaguely interested in the I'm going to say more psychedelic aspects, the more visual, in fact, just simply the more visual aspects of esoteric religion, whatever esoteric religion that may be, but particularly of Christianity, Gnosticism, and those associated religions and forms of spirituality. Now let's talk a little bit about the construction of the book. The book is covered in this really lovely leather, very, very warm to the touch, really, really soft as well. And, you know, it's got this kind of copper colored stamp on the front and on the back. Right, so this, and then it's blind embossed here on the very edge. So that's actually one of the pages which I had bookmarked. There we go. Yeah, right there. That's from the inside of the book. Yeah, very, very cool. Let me just zoom in on the paper here, folks. Look at that. Let me just try and get a good light on it. There we are. Every page is this quality. It's insane, folks. The thickness of the paper, the creaminess of the paper, the texture of the paper. I've never seen anything like it. It's just it wasn't inexpensive, right? But for the money that I paid for this, I've seen books that have been sold for far more than this, that have been essentially print on demand quality rubbish. You know, this is, you're getting everything. You're getting the whole thing, right? You're getting the form of the book. You're getting the art of, I'm going to go ahead and say, the most talented artist in the esoteric occult world today. You're getting the thoughts of Frater Acker in those early pages, the thoughts of Jose Gabriel all the way through, and then there's this lovely little conclusion by Gabriel Macari towards the end, in which he talks a little bit about his the way he first met Jose, and you know, and what a blessing it's been, of course, and it's just lovely. It's just lovely. I love this kind of experience of you know, where a book is perfect in every way, and this is you know, it's the other book that I've got that's perfect in every way is its predecessor, IAO, you know. So I'm delighted to bring this kind of sister volume onto the same shelf with IAO. Let me see if I can just slip it back into its case. I'm going to be a little bit careful because I'm using just one hand. Sorry if I'm not perfectly framed, but I'm wanting to really pay attention to what I'm doing. There we go. And this is what the two look like side by side. Really beautiful stuff. Yeah, this is the top, you know. this is the standard to be striven for forever and never attained, because I think that the kinds of sacrifices that have been made, nothing that's the wrong word to use probably in this context. People start thinking about all kinds of sinister things when we start talking about the occult and esoteric situations, but I mean, no, just personal sacrifices, right? The number of hours put into this kind of into the work, and you know, from everyone involved, and it's just so wonderful to see it just come into fruition like this, and I'm delighted, absolutely delighted. I'm very fortunate to have these two books side by side. Yeah, very cool indeed. There we go, folks. That's my little overview of Semesilam and the accompanying goodies. Thank you ever so much for watching the video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, hit the like button if you haven't done so already, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see some more reviews of lovely books, lovely esoteric books mostly. And yeah, don't forget to check the links down below, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.